forward attacker like someone like Trent or like Reece James. He's more of a defensive sided player, but every time he does get forward, he seems to really pop up and provide, and he can cross a ball perfectly. He's really been like racking up assists this season, so he slots in for me.
Ryan, it's your go. Let's hear it.
My go, right. So start off, I'm going to go with a 4-3-3 formation. In goal, yeah, I have to agree. I think Emi Martinez has been fantastic for Aston Villa. It was a toss-up between him and Mendy, because I do think Mendy's come in. Obviously, he didn't play every single game because at the start it was Kepa that featured them, and then he slowly sort of edged his way into the team and became like an out-and-out starting keeper for us. But no, Emi Martinez, I think the start Aston Villa had, obviously they were still up there towards the real top half of the table with keeping clean sheets, getting results, and just him as a presence for Villa has been huge. Obviously, we've seen how close Villa were. Well, they technically should have been relegated last season. Obviously, they were saved by VAR against Sheffield United at home in that game. But now Villa have been, a real solid team this season. They've never looked like getting anywhere near the relegation zone. I think he has been a big part of that. And he just seems to just save everything, or at least catch everything. If a ball comes into the box, he's there, he's big presence. So for me, Martinez starts in goal. Right back, yeah, like we said, Kufal. I think he's been excellent for West Ham in terms of getting forward as well, because he's not built to be an out and out like forward attacker like someone like Trent or like Reece James. He's more of a defensive sided player, but every time he does get forward, he seems to really pop up and provide, and he can cross a ball perfectly. He's really been like racking up assists this season, so he slots in for me. Two centre backs at the back. I think you can't overlook Stones and Diaz. Like, Diaz has absolutely revolutionised that defence, but as Lewis said, Stones has really built off of that. Both scoring goals as well, clean sheets. At one point, it seemed like for fun. I think they got like 9 clean sheets in a row, and they made it look effortless as well. So those two really slot in for me, which is good to see Stones. I think he's now, a clear and obvious choice for Southgate to make come the Euros. And then at left back as well, another English player, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. It was always going to be a toss-up, I think, at the start of the season for who's going to really slot in at the left back. Could it be Chilwell? I do think Chilwell has had a decent season. Like we said, he's not featured enough. But Luke Shaw, for me, this season's just come into his own, getting forward on the ball, his defensive awareness as well. And I think, the attacking returns, which I think in the modern game for a fullback are just essential to be able to, defend and attack. And I think he's done that perfectly. I've also been having to watch quite a lot of Man United this season. Yeah, he for me has just been fantastic. So he's the clear left back. The three in midfield, this is where it got a little bit hard, because obviously a lot of big names are going to be left out. But like you said, you can't look no further than, well, some people did, but you can't look no further than Bruno Fernandes.
Definitely.
For me, excellent season. I think it's 28 goals in all competitions and like 18 or 19 in the Prem. Mr. Reliable from the spot. Racks up goals, assists, creates chances, and I think he's become a real leader in that centre of the United team. And then either side of him, I'm going to say Gundogan as well, because like we said, Man City not came and rely upon him, but he just made it his own, and he was the real, like we said, the top goal scorer for them. And it just got to a point where midway through the season, everything he just touched turned into gold for Man City, and he was an absolute phenomenal player. And then I'm also going to put in Declan Rice, because again, I've watched a lot of West Ham this season as well, and they've been really entertaining to watch. But Declan Rice for me was absolutely solid. It's hard to pick him just over Mason Mount, but for me, I think I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible, and I would put Declan Rice in that team. And then to the front three, I think, Salah has to be in there. Obviously, Liverpool, real sort of rocky season for them, but he's still joint top goal scorer right to the bitter end. And he is a fantastic player. I remember one game that stands out is when he came off the bench against Crystal Palace and scored like 2 and set up 1 in, I think, like 25 minutes. And he's just been consistent for Liverpool throughout. And I think especially with Firmino and Mane being as quiet as they have been this season, he's still kept up that goal record and really helped Liverpool throughout. So definitely him in there. And then I'm going to say Harry Kane, obviously down the middle up top for them. Phenomenal striker, top goal scorer and top assister as well, which I think is almost unheard of in a Premier League season. And I do think, knowing Harry Kane, he will continue to try and score as many goals as he can in his last 2 games, because he's always one that wants to win the Golden Boot. For me, he's always up there with a clear shout. And then final player in there, I'm going to say, is Heung-min Son. I think him and Kane this season in a Tottenham team that to me has been pretty dire in terms of the results that they've racked up has not been good enough. But him and Kane just seem to like bounce off each other. And I remember at the start of the season, one would score and then one would set up. But those two together, for me, I think have been absolutely lethal. And I think those two definitely deserve the spot in the team.
And literally just having Harry Kane as your captain for fantasy football the whole season, that's probably just got you to the top of the table.
Good team. Interesting. I just think with the Son, I think him and Kane started the season phenomenal, but I think Son's dropped off in recent weeks. I don't think he's been as prolific as he was at the start of the season. I guess for his form first half, I'd give it to him, but I do think he sort of phased out a little bit.
It was between Son and Rashford, I think, between those two, because I do think Rashford's been overlooked. I think he's had a fantastic season, and he's one of them sort of quiet contenders for me. But I think Son just pipped it for me. But
yeah, that's fair. I like Rashford as well. Actually, I didn't even remember Rashford. I sort of forgot all the United.
There's so many bloody players. How are we going
There is, exactly. That's the thing. There's so many that are going to be missed out. Obviously, I left out Kante, De Bruyne, Mason Mount. Like,
it's not who we pick; it's who we leave out that we're going to get criticised for as well, which is 100%. The annoying thing.
I'm in the same boat as Kez about the Son thing, because he done so well at the first half of the season. But if we are going for halves of the season, then Jesse Lingard and Joe Willock should be in there because they've been phenomenal. But that's my only chance to get a Newcastle player in. All right, let me have it. It's the only chance.